What's up everyone? We're playing some more backpack battles today, and that is in huge thanks to you guys because you showed me so much support during the first video that I put out with the 5 of a kind Goobert, so thank you very much for that. I hope you can do the same for this video. I hope that you like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, but today we're going to be doing a playing card deck as I find the Goobert in shops, one of my favorite things to do in the game. But yeah, I've not experienced playing with the playing cards before. It's like my 15th run or something like that, so I'm not the best at it. I don't even know what the playing cards do at this point, but it's honestly a thing of beauty watching me learn all of these things and trying to implement them in battle. Here I take the deck of cards, which you need to take in order to start seeing cards in the shop. Let's see if we roll into one. We actually saved the gold for next turn, so yeah, we'll see next turn if we find the card. We probably might, because I think the chances are pretty high that you do when you take the deck. And we find the Lover's card, which is a tarot card. It's honestly pretty interesting that they took a lot of cards from a lot of different aspects of life, so that's something I'm a big fan of. The Lover's card, if I'm not mistaken, it steals life from the opponent, and if you put it in an even number in the sequence, so like second, fourth, sixth, etc., you get some extra benefit. I think it's regeneration, so yeah, you can see how the playing cards work here. You get the deck first of all, and you connect it to the card, and then you connect the card to another card, and so on and so forth. You can see now I have only 2 Lovers cards, but even with only 2 we managed to win there. I take the third card there, but I don't think they are connected. I find another one here. This is the White Eyes Blue Dragon, Yu-Gi-Oh reference obviously, but yeah, it does something pretty similar. Instead of stealing health from the opponent, it gives you block, or armor rather, so yeah, it gives you more and more armor the later you put it in the sequence, so I try to put it last. I'm still figuring out how to rotate the cards correctly so they get chained with each other. You can see the blue flame line right there that is connecting them. That's how you know that you're doing something good. So yeah, let's see if we manage to win here. We do. I think like I don't have much experience, so you can correct me in the comments, but I think the playing cards actually benefit a lot from fatigue, because you get a lot of HP from the opponent, you generate a lot of armor, so the games are usually going pretty late, so you're starting to take fatigue damage, and obviously when you have more HP and more armor, it's better for you to take it later on in the game and let the opponent self-destruct with all of the damage. But I don't know, that's just my interpretation of it for now. I got an Ace of Spades, which is most definitely a playing card, but yeah, its ability is that it gives you, I think it's luck. I think it's luck that it gives you, and if you put it in an odd numbered position, it also makes your next attack crit for sure. So that's something you want to be abusing, and we are going to be doing that with some of the cards that we have in the shop. You can see the I don't know how the game calls it. It's like a hollow fire lizard, something like that. Definitely a reference to the Pokemon card game with the Charizard. I think those sold for a lot in the past, but now maybe not so much. I'm not much of a Pokemon guy, I don't think, like at least for the card game I'm not exactly familiar. But in the game it deals damage, and it deals more damage the later on in the chain that you are, so I tried to put it last here, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon is like close to last. So yeah, we're actually losing, and that's partially my fault, because most of my cards are not positioned optimally, I don't believe. Like for example, the aces and the lovers, they will light up if you put them on even or odd numbered spots respectively, but I believe at the time I was not counting the deck of cards itself when I was making all of the calculations, so yeah, I am so lost here, but it's still working out somehow. We still have 3 hearts, and how much is that? I think it's 5 wins. And we keep finding a lot of cards in the shop, which is just ideal. I think we're going to win here, looking at the opponent's setup. Yep, we don't really attack all too often, we just deal one huge hit with the Charizard. But yeah, you can see I'm going to improve a lot during this run, both with the setup of the cards themselves and the way I position them inside of the bag. Like, currently I'm doing the typical snake game strategy where you go along the edges and you just start going in slowly but surely. Here we find the Darkest Lotus, which I think is a Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering, another card game that I have not played. I am more of a Hearthstone guy, so I'm not exactly familiar with what it does, but in the game it generates you mana, which can be used with some other stuff like spell books, which I think we might take later on in the run, but for now we don't need them because we're winning so easily. It's going to be even easier with another Charizard on the backpack. And yeah, I think soon I'm going to have to reposition the cards because I really want to take this Lover, so yeah, I'm going to find a way to fit all of them in. Yep, for now this will do. We even get to put the mushroom next to the banana, which I think is a good thing. Like, you want to have foods adjacent to each other as much as possible, but I choose to put it next to the garlic instead. I find another Black Lotus, which for now they're not really that useful, but like the later on in the sequence that you put them, the more good stats they generate for you, from my understanding. So I really wanted stuff like thorns, stuff like regeneration. Vampirism might also be a beneficial trait to have. I don't know if the Black Lotus gives it to you, but I'm taking it regardless. And you can see my snake strategy is actually not doing too well. I think I can't continue the chain of cards any further, so if I want to include any more cards in the deck, I'll have to reposition entirely. And you can honestly let me know in the comments what the best way to position these cards is, but I was pretty proud of my performance during this run. You can see now I'm doing a zigzag strategy with cards going up and down. I currently don't really have the backspace in order to make this possible. I would really like to have smaller pieces of backpack so I can just put the, like for example, fanny packs and the shielded purses in the slots that I'm missing. But for now I think we're doing well. You can see there I have to reposition once again in order to make a full line for the cards to go through. I tried to keep the order as similar as I had it before because it was working out for me, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I am trying to reposition a little bit. You can see that I'm finally starting to understand how the lovers and the aces are supposed to be. All of them are lit up, so that means their extra effects are activated, which you love to see, honestly. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty well for now. I think we could do with more Charizards for more damage, but we have 2 of them and they're positioned pretty late in the chain, so I think we're going to be good. You can see a single Charizard deals so much damage, and the fatigue also helps you out. We actually win there, but I choose once again to go all the way through. I think they give you the option for going until you win 6 more times, if I'm not mistaken. And if you manage to do that, you get double rewards or something like that, so I always take the challenge if I can. Here we fill up the backpack entirely, and we also have an ace to spare, so we put it in, even though it's not completely optimal. Yeah, ace is not activating its additional effects, but it doesn't really matter. I think its additional effect was to make the next attack crit, but since there's not a Charizard after it, it doesn't really matter. We win there by 1 HP, we take a Lover so that we have the space for the Ace to be in an odd spot. And yeah, honestly all that is left for us to do is just fill up with some more Blue Eyes White Dragons and some more Charizards, and I think we're going to be okay. We win here easily because our opponent is going for 5 of a kind Goobert. By the time I'm recording this, by the way, a new update has rolled out with some more Gooberts, so I think I might revisit the 5 of a kind Gooberts. I think now it's possible to do it with the other class of the game as well, with the Ranger, so I'd be very curious about that. But in the meantime, you can see I'm struggling once again to contain all of the cards in my backpack. I decided not to go with the Black Lotus this time because I don't really need the mana, but I would like to include it in the chain somehow. And you actually see what I do in a little bit when I take the Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's a card that I really want to have on my chain, so I think we are going to reposition again on this turn, and I think I'm super happy with the positioning that I got after this. Like you'll see in a second, I'm trying to figure out if I want something else. I'm ideally looking to slot in some smaller items. You can see that I have stuff like spell books and potions because they help me survive early on. We even find the Charizard here, but I think it's now time to reposition. We might even get rid of the piggy banks because they're not helping us that much. We don't really have long to go, so we don't really need the extra gold from them. Yeah, you can see I really want to have both the Blue Eyes White Dragon and the Charizard in the deck, but it's not really possible, so I just go back to the drawing board, remove almost everything. And yeah, this is the positioning that I'm going to do. You can see I have to indent one of the cards in the chain a little bit, like the Charizard right there is a little bit behind, but it lets me get another 2 rows of cards, I believe, so I'm very happy with this. I can even put some of my daggers back in, the health potion, the piggy bank even, and I have some more space for more cards if I manage to find any. I'd be very happy to end off with the Charizard because that would deal massive damage with such a big chain of cards. I don't know if my positioning is optimal, like I think you might want to have all of the Charizards at the end and all of the HP and armor generating cards early on, but I'm not really sure, so this positioning is fine enough for now. We take this helmet here because it prevents the opponent from critting, and we find the Charizard right here. So yeah, I think this is basically going to be it. I can see that these herbs that I pick up have some synergy with the HP potion, but we need another set of herbs apparently, so we can't really get to combine there. We're just going to have to go with this setup. And do we win here? The opponent's team is looking very scary. But yeah, actually we are starting to recover. Isn't that crazy? The playing cards actually become super strong the later on in the game you get. I think we have space for one more card, so we can put 2 Charizards in a row at the last spot. And yeah, I believe this is going to be the final turn. Let's see if I manage to think of something to improve this, but I don't think I will. I'll just remove the piggy banks in favor of some better stuff. And yeah, this will be the final run. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any criticism for me or any ways I could improve at the game, please let me know in the comments. But for now, I just hope that you liked the video, and if you do, I hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.